Very nice to be with you. Today I'm going to talk to you about safeguarding the art of espalier for fostering cultivated biodiversity. My name is Michel Schlosser. I'm president of Amis du Potager du Roi and the Society for European Training in the Art of Espalier. These are new responsibilities for me, as previously I was teaching management education in the US and in Sweden also. So today I'm going to tell you about espaliering fruit trees. Then I will tell you how fostering cultivated biodiversity became the new future for espalier. Then I will spend some time explaining why we use the expression the art of espalier. And finally, I will tell you about a case research project for training future masters and teachers. Before I start telling you about all these issues, I want to pay a very special tribute to 4 persons who are recognized by everybody in France and Belgium as masters in the art of espalier. Denis Tournard, Thierry Régnier, Jacques Beccaleto, and Marcel Vossen. Thank you to you all, because without you, nothing would have happened and would continue to happen. So thanks a lot. What's about espaliering fruit trees? This practice of espalier has actually been used for centuries by professionals and amateurs alike for cultivating fruit trees. But in the 1950s, 60s, it was abandoned by fruit producers in favor of less labor-consuming approaches. And this resulted, obviously, in a sharp decline of the practice of espalier. Around 2015, when we started, it was very difficult to learn the practice. There were no schools offering the training. There were very few grandmasters left and very few orchards where one could learn by practice. Anyway, for many people, espaliers looked old-fashioned, and some people even seemed to be happy to see the practice disappear, as they said, it was torturing the trees. By the way, what do we mean by espaliers? As you know, espaliers are fruit trees trained on walls, that's espalier stricto sensu, or on a trellis in open ground, away from any wall, that's counter espalier, or fruit trees trained in small three-dimensional forms. And this is no definition, because as soon as 1652, l'Abbé Legendre was giving the same definition. Let me show you some pictures of espalier. These are espaliers Potager du Roi. This is in Gasbec, Belgium. This is in Chicago, in the Botanic Garden. Now some counter espaliers. So this is Potager du Roi. This is Chicago again. And here, these are small trees in volume. By the way, what is the main purpose of training fruit trees in espalier? It's not only aesthetics, actually. It's to produce the best possible fruit. And that has been the pure pursuit of gardeners for centuries or even millennia. So, how fostering cultivated biodiversity became the new future for espaliers? When working at identifying people and organizations involved in espaliers, we realized that a number of arboriculturists and pomologists were actually working with municipalities at reintroducing fruit trees in urban areas. And as you know, in France and more generally in Europe, urban areas are most important for shifting towards a green future. And so it was very easy for us to argue that espaliers can help reintroduce fruit trees in the cities, because they have several advantages. They have a small areal and root volume. They are easy to monitor when it comes to their health, and they can be planted very close to the walls. Let me show you these pictures of pear trees, that's a traditional practice, pear trees planted against houses. And actually, it's great for drying up buildings and especially drying up caves, which is great for cheese and wine. So we organized a major initiative in 2023 that we called First International Meeting of Edible Fruit Landscapes in the City. We organized this with Nantes, the city of Nantes, Plantes et Cités, and Potager du Roi. It was very successful because more than 200 participants attended. And very important, a guide for supporting fruit tree projects in the urban space was published in 2024 by Plantes et Cités. So why did we start talking about the art of espalier? It all came from a meeting with the famous musician William Christie. If you look at the picture behind William Christie, you see espalier. Yes, William Christie is a practitioner of art of espalier. And when we met with him, with Jacques Beccaleto, you see Jacques on the right-hand side, William Christie told us that a tree like this can be placed in the same category as a beautiful painting, a magnificent sculpture, or a beautiful piece of music. What's the difference? It is man, isn't it? The artist, the craftsman. It's exactly the same thing, without the slightest exaggeration. So we decided to start talking about the art of espalier, and we were very happy to have France recognizing the art of espalier in 2023 as cultural immaterial heritage. Actually, the Netherlands did the same in 2025, so maybe the next step for us is UNESCO. What we did also was to launch the World Days of the Art of Espalier. Finally, let me tell you about our case research for training future masters and teachers. On October 16, i.e. a week ago, we launched the Formation Européenne à l'Art de l'Espalier, or European Training to the Art of Espalier, which is going to be a 3-year program made of seven in-person modules and 27 video conferences. And this program is organized by 4 schools, 1 school in Switzerland, Lullier, 3 schools in France, and 3 societies, Amis du Potager du Roi and Arboriculteurs du Haut-Rhin in France, and NBS in Belgium. And in this program, we were very happy to welcome 24 participants, and the program is run by 11 faculty members, including the masters that I presented to you at the beginning of my talk. The goal of the program is not only to pass ancient knowledge and know-how from the masters to the participants, but also to collectively reflect on how to help this art serve today's needs, like increasing cultivated biodiversity, and also reflect on the process of transmission and develop a bank of new learning materials. To become a specialist or a trainer in the art of espalier, you need to learn and master a body of both explicit and implicit knowledge. By explicit knowledge, I mean how to analyze the soil, how to plan for an espalier project, how to identify disease, and also what are the basic rules for training and pruning an espalier. Implicit knowledge is very different, and it's basically answering the question of how to prune this unique tree on this specific day and why. And our belief is that implicit knowledge cannot be made explicit. Only repeated practice, exposure to a great number of different real unique individual situations, can allow you to acquire and internalize implicit knowledge. The good news, however, is that as we have discovered in management education, which was my previous job, there is an efficient way to simulate the exposure to real situations. These are case studies. And I show you here the Harvard case clearing houses, which contains about 50,000 case studies. So what we intend to do is to collect within the program with both the students and the teachers to collectively develop and test a series of case studies. I mean, unique situations with no obvious solutions, each with a final question, what to do, why, and to be used as a simulation of practice, especially for learners with a minimum of experience, because case studies are not really great for absolute beginners. So, thank you very much for listening to me.